We will now revert to Magdalena, who will explain to us what the BrineRIS project is about.
Thank you, Mike, for the introduction. Yes, as Krzysztof mentioned, BrineRIS Project is a specific type of project co-funded by the European AIT Raw Materials. It's a capacity building project, risk capacity building, so we are focusing on building the new capability of professional workforce in risk countries, specifically in 6 risk countries that I will mention in a while. The project is planned for 3 years. We started with some problems in January 2022, and we plan to finish the project at the end of 2024. Why brines? Why lithium? I think that in our audience we don't have to mention about that the lithium is one of the mostly demanded metals in Europe, especially for this energy transition, green energy transition, for electric cars and of course for batteries for these cars and for other appliances at home, for example remote vacuum cleaners and so on. So everything is based on lithium batteries. And lithium for the first time became a critical raw material that was published on the European Union list in September 2024. So it's very interesting and very profitable metal that is unfortunately mostly imported to Europe from abroad. So Europe depends mostly on the supply from other countries and other continents, mostly from South America and from Africa also. Yeah, last year's the price of lithium goes up, as you can see, rapidly goes up. So the unconventional resources of this metal became more attractive, as well as the emerging technologies of the recovery, especially from brines, from deep brines, because we know that we have huge resources of lithium in the Atacama Desert, where we have brines more or less pretty shallow, and the process of extracting lithium from these brines is, let's say, not environmentally friendly. It needs a lot of water, it needs a specific climate conditions, and it lasts. It needs time. So the evaporation is a technology that can't be used for deep underground saline water. That's why we ask several questions. Do we have prospective resources for metals recovery from brines in 6 risk countries? In our project, we focus on Portugal, Spain, Poland, Slovakia, Czech Republic, and Hungary. We also will answer the question where these resources are located within these countries. Are these resources accessible? Can we reach for these brines easily, or do we need any other technical or financial resources to extract these brines? What are the constraints, formal, environmental, technical, economic, social? So in every country we have different conditions, different law, different environmental issues. So this is one of the questions that we want to answer in our project. And the next one is what and how can we recover from perspective sites? It's not only about lithium, because lithium is of course our main goal, but we also have these brines enriched in other elements that can be extracted as a byproduct, or maybe even as main products, and lithium as a byproduct. So that's the question. What can we recover from this brine? And of course, how to minimize carbon and water footprint of the recovery process. We know that all these recovery emerging technologies, they are energy consuming. So these days it's a real challenge to have such a process that will be energy effective. And energy, it means also economy. So we need money for the energy. That's why we are thinking about geothermal brines. So to connect the geothermal energy with the recovery. And to answer the questions, we established a consortium of international partners that are from different countries, not only from RIS countries, but also from Belgium, also from Finland, and also from Germany. Institutions like Technische University, Bergakademie Freiberg, like Geological Survey of Finland, or Ghent University. These partners support our RIS partners and provide us expertise that in our countries still is on the low level. So we cooperate to increase the awareness, to share the knowledge, to exchange the experience, and also to make a technical test of the brines that we'll be investigating in our project. We also have a special type of partners that are in special condition under this RIS scheme of financing. Those are called task partners. And here we have 4 geological surveys from Poland, from Czech Republic, from Slovakia, 3 geological surveys, excuse me, and a company that is operating with geothermal drillings. So it's a kind of technical support for us. Yeah, and what are our objectives and scope for next 2 years? Because we are at the end of the 2022, so almost 1 year has passed. We have 3 categories of activities. First is to increase awareness of geothermal brines metallogenic potential in RIS countries, and of course we will map the resources of brines in these countries that I've mentioned. To be sure that we have the resources and what kind of resources we have. Of course, we have to focus on the building the capacity of these countries, especially in this type of activity like low carbon metals mining technologies related to geothermal brines. And we will train and test. We will train workforce, we will train students within this project, and we will test 3 technologies of recovery that I will mention later with our technological partners GTK and Ghent. And the next part in our project is attracting investors to RIS countries. That's why we plan to establish an interactive platform with all the data that we will gather during the project. And this platform will be open for potential investors in these countries. And also we plan to choose one investment case and submit it to ERMA. Investment case, we mean the site or the well or the project that will be most promising in terms of geothermy and in terms of lithium recovery. Yeah. The whole project is divided into 9 work packages. So we have 3 packages that are, let's say, general or organizational. Of course, project management. That means all the management of the work within the project, and also connection between the AIT raw materials and the consortium. Communication and dissemination, of course, it covers all the activity in the projects and is directed to the wide society, and of course to science audience and worldwide investors. And the capacity building VP8, it also covers these technical VPs, and it's focused on transferring the knowledge and the expertise to the risk countries and also Horizon Europe associated countries, where this awareness of new technologies and of brines is much lower than in these countries. And we have the core of the project, of course, work packages that are focused on technical issues first. The third work package is resource mapping, so we will gather data here and analyze all the information that we will gather. In VP4 we will test recovery technologies, in VP5 we will test or check the geothermal potential of these selected brines. VP6 it's creating of interactive platform, and VP7 it's investment case. And above that we have our business advisory board that is led by Mike and supported by Vulcan Energy Subsurface Solutions, so that's the new name of the company that is involved also in our project as our supporting partner, not the regular partner of the consortium, but they support us a lot. And in the project we have four development paths. As I mentioned, first is the mapping, testing, capacity building and investing. So it's a kind of summary of the first part of the presentation. As you can see, we have already started activities related to gathering information from our countries, risk countries. Testing starts soon. We hope that before the end of this year we will have first samples that we can send to our partners. And of course samples, it doesn't mean that we will have one bottle of the brine. In our case sample is 150 liters that has to be acquired from the well and then has to be sent to Finland, to Germany and to Belgium. So it's a tricky and challenging issue. Capacity building, we've already started first workshops. You can see the pictures from our last meeting in Finland, in GTK, where the partners had an opportunity to familiarize with geodata management that is running in Geological Survey of Finland. It was our first in-person meeting. Because the whole process of preparation of the proposal and the whole first half of the year, everything was online. So for us it was the first opportunity to meet in person, and today we also have an opportunity to meet other participants of our project also in person. And investing, the last part, it's, as I mentioned before, creation of the interactive platform. Responsible for this task is European Lithium Institute, and this investment case that will be probably submitted next year, and it will be the best site that we will analyze in our project, of course, in cooperation with the operator of this site. And the technology, as I mentioned, we will test 3 different technologies in our project in VP4. First technology, I'm not a chemist, so please forgive me if I messed something up here. First is electrochemical process for lithium extraction, and this activity is led by Ghent University. Another method is absorption. That will be handled by Geological Survey of Finland. and solvent extraction that will be tested by GTK in cooperation with chemists from our university, Wrocław University of Science and Technology. These three technologies will be for sure tested, but we are open for any new emerging technology that could be tested on the brines that we will be sampling. So if you know anybody who have something discovering and that could be implemented in the project, for sure we are open for every cooperation, because it's good to do everything that we can on the samples that are really challenging to acquire. So if we have sample, it's good to test them in every possible way. Yeah, and why geothermal brines? Because our partners are already on the pilot stage of the recovery process that is supplying by geothermal energy. So they use geothermal energy to produce electricity that supports the recovery process. That's why it becomes more effective and more economic. We will test our brines, or TUBAF will test our brines in terms of the temperatures that will be, let's say, the best for energy production, electricity production, but also we will think about how to use the heat that is produced by these lower temperature brines to support the process of recovery, because sometimes it even is enough to heat something by 2 or 3 degrees and the process gives better results. Yeah. And to sum up, BrineRIS project aims, of course, to build the risk country's capacity on carbon neutral critical raw materials, recovery from geothermal brines, and to decrease the dependency of Europe on imported metals for battery production by identifying prospective deposits of brine and testing emerging recovery technologies. As Krzysztof said, one of our goals is to implement the solution that we will work on in our project in the future. So we are looking for other opportunities to utilize the knowledge that we gather in this project to establish maybe new consortium for another funding within the European Union funds, or maybe to establish this industrial research consortium to start working on commercializing different technologies. This path is open. So we invite you to cooperation, we invite you to be updated with our results, with our meetings, and also to take part in our workshop. We usually try to have a hybrid meetings that are open for wide audience, and it's always possible to join us online. And yeah, so collaborate with us to build community and sustain our project. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Magdalena, for this excellent overview of the BrineRIS